Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestra, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio.
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now, a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
I think your mic is muted there, sir. And someone call Linda. He's
Okay, that was very weird. So it wasn't muted over there, but it was muted over here. Anyway, very weird, people. Joe's in stereo, so we're gonna have to watch what's going on here tonight.
Yeah, someone call Linda.
One of these will disappear somewhere along the line. But anyway, well, hey Jay, how you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Man, Sean was crying because you weren't there Saturday, man. He was crying.
No, my apologies. My
He was like, man. No, what was it? I brought something up. He was like, what the fuck was it? Oops, beep, beep. Sorry, if you know what I mean, use the F word.
My buddies came over they went hiking up by Camp David, and they came by and played a couple of games, and we just played until like 10 o'clock. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. No, ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't know what I told him. I'm sure it's something sci-fi related. And what the hell was it? Anyway, I have to go back and listen. But he said, well, I'm not Jay. I started laughing my ass off. And I was like, well, no, it wasn't meant like that. I don't know. It was one of the weird questions that came up, I'm sure. We talked a lot of food, man. Oh, and by the way, I hear my good buddy Amelia's going to be back on air tonight or tomorrow night, so I can't wait to see her.
Wonderful.
And she said tomorrow night, but I don't know if the message was from yesterday or from today. So
it's either on tonight or tomorrow. So.
Yeah, so one or the other. Be sure to check her out there. Say hi. Give her a peace.
Oh, yeah. Welcome her back. She's been gone a while.
So anyway, I set up the show tonight because I was going to do a guest tonight, and actually I asked her if I could put her back to the. Hold on, I will tell y'all. Hold on. The 1st. So October 1st, I have a very interesting lady coming on to hang out with us. Awesome. And we'll be talking alien everything. But anyway, I'll tell you all about that later on. But we actually have 4 or 5 guests coming on that I've been wanting to talk to. I've been lazy and booking because every time I get ready to start booking people, I get an idea I want to talk about. But this was out of necessity because I have in my JoJo Man email, which I don't hardly anybody even knows about anymore, which still gets a couple thousand emails a day. All of a sudden, I got a wave in that one and one of the UFO ones about Joe. Why aren't you talking about Oumuamua, man? Why aren't you talking about 3AI Atlas? You asked, what's up, man? Why won't you talk about him? You know, why won't you talk about him? I'm really, and I actually had voice messages pretty much to that tone. I'm not kidding y'all. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been doing this a very long time. I've been in the field for 40. We'll just say 40 years and leave it at that. Any more than that just makes me sound like ancient from the other planet or some shit. But yeah, I know. It's like, was he born before dirt itself? Yes.
Yes, we actually invented dirt, people. That's what me and Joe are famous for. That's right. How old we are.
Yes. And that's why kids like to eat dirt. Yes. Well, I did not make your kids weird. You made your kids weird, people. Don't even try to go there with us. Stephanie, answer your question. Saturday night's always open night topic. It depends who shows up, what hosts are there. We've been short a couple of hosts lately, which is kind of, we're gonna have to start kicking on some hosts' butts.
And I have actually sent a few invites to Jeffrey to come in on the chat on Saturdays, but he hasn't taken us up on it yet. But maybe one day he'll come in and pop in for
you know what? I'm just this Friday I'm going to a show. I'm just gonna pop in.
Oh, good.
Jeffrey, how are you?
Yeah, it's gonna be him and Wham.
Oh, good. I love Wham. And as soon as I get on, I'm gonna say, I just wanted to come on and say, I know how you two feel with TDS and all, but Trump rocks, baby.
Yeah.
Jeff, no, but not Jeff might quit. He might be F you, Joe. Poor Wham will heads will explode. That's why I call her Wham, man, because her head will just go. Then slowly come back together. No, Wham and I usually don't talk politics. We have once or twice, and we've really agreed to really agreed to disagree. And but I actually like Wham. See, I can like
she's a very smart lady.
I can actually like liberal and not like their politics. Everybody has their shortcomings.
Oh yeah,
being a Democrat is a shortcoming these days, but actually, let me retract that statement. Being an idiot Democrat is a shortcoming these days. Being just a normal everyday Democrat is not.
Yeah, there are some good Democrats out there that do their job correctly and they're for the people. But We have seen that it's the swamp is draining. I mean, he drunk.
Yeah, it's slowly but surely. It's
Nasty,
definitely
disgusting,
it's
horrible
on its
things they
way.
did.
It's on its way. No, Jeffrey, we'll talk about it on Friday night, though. Actually, we'll probably talk a little bit about stuff like that, the draining the swamp, and a few other topics on Friday night. It's there's been a lot going on. Plus, he's over there on this trip right now, which is like, wow. They treat him like a king. Oh no, man, he's
well, no. There's some people that are not happy that he's in England.
Oh
like
yeah, but those people. I'm not talking about the peasants. I'm talking about the people that matter.
Yeah, no, the Parliament and all them are excited he's there. Yes, but the people are
the
not.
king, the queen, the everybody's happy he's there. The prime minister's happy he's there. The UK and the United States want to tie their ties even tight, like the old days where we're just inseparable. That's because they know we're going to take Canada over. But anyway, that's for Friday night. I digress. Anyway, one last more negative thing, and then I'll stop. One of the reasons we didn't find out about Oumuamua was because this Democrat on Capitol Hill, I'm not going to mention her name. She's worth about $350 million, but I'm not going to mention her name. Refused to sign a bill to give them the extra money to extend the mission before that. Another, I think it was 9 months. If they would have caught it. I'm sorry, 14 months. They would have caught it as it was entering the solar system, not as it was leaving. Yeah, when we found Oumuamua, it was actually already leaving. It was on its way out.
Yeah, it came close. What did it passed by Jupiter? I don't remember the exact path, but it passed very close through our solar system. But we weren't able to really see it until it was on its way past the solar system.
Jackie, where are you at? Oh, you're my messenger. Okay, I'm sorry. If anybody's listening on Pal Talk, I'll let me see. I forgot to look for my messenger, but the other night we were talking and it just went poof. So I might have to reinstall it. It's how can I say this politely? It's 90s technology. No, I'm just kidding, people. It's 2025 technology. I don't want to get sued or nothing, but this whole thing with these comets, when you look at them, you're like, okay, the first one was weird. I mean, Oumuamua was weird. She had her inconsistencies and inconsistencies, I should say, and she just had this feel, I should say, that it felt like it was something maybe more than a comet. But in reality, we couldn't prove that it was. Maybe if we would have caught it sooner, I could have put Jay, smuggled his ass on board of one of the Artemis missions. And it could have been like Buck Rogers in the 24th and a half century and sent him out there. And
but no, you're right. If we had that mission had lasted longer, or we had I don't know if the James Webb was up.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, because they didn't say anything about trying to image it with it. So,
but it would have been interesting to watch something.
Yeah, because it was pretty close then when they found it.
It had to have broken through the Oort cloud, which is a barrier outside of our solar system. What would have happened?
All three of them came through the. Well, I wonder about that. I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, and I really wonder. So, how thick is the Oort cloud? I mean, it doesn't form like a bubble over the thing. So I'm thinking,
it does
because it's on the elliptic, because
around the solar system.
Yeah. So, but because this thing's on a metabolic transition or elliptic, then it's riding right above the planes of the planets. That means it would have rode in over the Oort cloud, so it wouldn't have passed through it. Because I was wondering how it got through the Oort cloud without getting its ass, slammed into a billion little pieces. Because there's a lot of debris out in the Oort cloud.
It's ice and rocks and
then of course if it would have went through the Oort cloud, that means it would have went through the asteroid belt. It wouldn't have yet, but it would be going through the asteroid belt. But that's not going to happen either.
Well, the asteroid belt's a little thinner, so it might have avoided that. But the Oort cloud, it does go all the way around the star, our sun, and it is. I don't know how dense the field is, but it's water, ice, and all the lighter stuff in our solar system that was formed when our solar system exploded, and it stayed out there. And it's mostly the light stuff, frozen water, probably talc, and some other relatively light rocks. But Oumuamua would have had to have gone through that, and how many things would it have hit? Would it have hit ice? Would it have hit nothing? Would it have hit
No, it would hit something.
Yeah, I'm sure
from the imaging I've seen from when the Voyagers went out. So somehow we got a Voyager above them or below them because they didn't get whacked a million pieces.
Yeah.
Navigating that far out would have been tough. I mean, I don't know what the delay is now, but it's got to be a few hours, maybe a day or something, between NASA and it getting its signals. I mean, what is Mars? 15 minutes, I believe. Or somebody told me it's 7 minutes now, so I'm not sure. I have to check in that and see. But regardless, that's Mars, and that's not even that far away. But it does look like that this particular craft, or I should say this particular rock, looks like it's going to take a good long look at Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, and along with some of the
Three-Eye Atlas or Oumuamua?
Three-Eye Atlas. And Oumuamua is gone. She's
yeah.
Well, you know what?
It was coming back, but
I tried to find out the other day what is her trajectory. Where is she headed? What's the next solar system she'll pass through? I'm curious. I'd like to know. I don't know if there's anybody could ever find out, but I'd like to know what solar system was the last one she passed through, and what's the next one she's going to pass through. Because if it is a type of craft, then it's a good chance that it's only going to systems where it already knows there's life,
or thinks there's life,
or yes, or they are above. Because none of them are traveling that fast. I mean, the guy got 134,000 miles an hour. That, don't get me wrong, that's hauling ass. But when you talk about
the vastness of
space, man, I mean, that's
a roller skate compared to a rocket.
That means it would take you to get from here to Proxima would be like 100 years or something. I think it'd be more than that, actually. What is it, 190,000 miles per second or something?
186,000 miles per second.
Yeah. Per second, people, not per mile an hour. Per second.
Yeah, every 1 second.
Whoa, what was that? Miles. And then you wonder why I always say that alien craft have to be built out of something that, come on, you're doing light speed, and a little pebble this big just hits you like some type of iron magnet. It's just something hard. Do you realize if like any craft that we have, it would just turn into tissue? It would be like whoosh.
That's one place where you and I kind of diverge. I'm fairly certain that there's stuff out there that can damage their craft. Has to be.
Why does that have to be? So let's do this a different way.
Nature does it. Oh, there's always something bigger, better, badder, stronger, faster.
Maybe.
No matter where you go.
What's bigger and badder than the Q, man? Come on, there ain't nothing bigger and badder than the Q.
No, but
so there's not always something bigger and better.
Going on to that technology, that idea, that the thing you just said, with you're going through space and you hit a pebble and your spaceship explodes. We have that same problem here on Earth. When they first came out with I forget what they call them, but the boats that have the stilts underneath, and they hydroplane these little, they go on these little skis that the boat flies on, the hydroplaning boats. Now those things are going like, I think 200 or 300 miles an hour. And if there's a styrofoam cup in the water just floating around and one of those struts hits it, the same thing will happen. The cup, it's styrofoam floating in water, so you would think it would just move out of the way, but allegedly those struts will hit that cup, snap off, and the boat tumbles and crashes and sinks into the water. So I don't think it's even if you have a spaceship that is impenetrable, indestructible, and you're going light speed and you hit something solid that your sensors or your computers didn't find, I think you're going to do the same thing. You're not just going to go and drive right through an asteroid.
Actually, you probably will go right through it. It'll probably still kill you, but you'll probably still go right through it. So I would bet you money, any decent interstellar craft, if it hit Earth, it would either embed itself really, really deep or pass right through it and destroy the planet as it went through. Because when you're talking speeds that a rock's not going to stop it at 86,000 miles per second. Look, we could aim nukes at it and explode them in front of it. Wouldn't even phase it.
No, it wouldn't even slow it down.
So that's the point. You either have to have a craft that's so powerful that really not much is going to phase it. Because even if you have electronic shields, it's always a chance that a shield could go out. So you'd still want a one-piece molded craft. I guarantee anybody who's doing any kind of deep space is using one-piece molded craft. I would bet any kind of money on a planet on it. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to get the structure.
Well, it's not the only way, but it's the better way.
Anything else is just taking your life in your own hands.
Well, exactly. Well, that's the point I was trying to make. That we send up spaceships all the time. Our spaceships are riveted. If you look at when they have the close up, when you see the whole body of the Saturn V rockets going up and all the fire, if you look close to the thing, you can actually see the nuts and bolts and rivets on it. Those things can screw themselves, back themselves out, and that panel can come off, and boom, the whole entire spaceship explodes. That's not the ideal thing. You don't want to put that into a vacuum without oxygen, because it could just simply implode on itself and like it be a crushed can or explode. No. A molded one piece there's less chance of it failing in any one direction.
So if you owned a big spaceship and you were riding through the solar system, you rolled up on an asteroid belt, you should just be able to bump your way through it without doing any damage to your ship whatsoever. You shouldn't even have to use your shields, which you probably have, but you should be able to just bump your way through it. It shouldn't even phase it. Now we're just talking about cruising speed. We're not talking light speed. Even at light speed, all it would do, the force being pushed ahead of the craft would disintegrate anything that was in front of it. So I'm not so much worried about that. That kind of, when you listen to the way Einstein talks, it sounds like there will be some type of wake in front of it. So I'm sure that'll destroy almost anything that's in front of it. But if you hit anything, you have to be able to survive. First off, every kind of radiation imaginable is in space, and it's in vast numbers, far worse than anything our sun even puts out. So your craft has to be able to take all of that. Not just rocks and pebbles and dings, but all that radiation, all that background cosmic radiation. You have to be able to take all of that. And so anybody who's traveling and have a craft like that are way more advanced than anything we can think of.
Well,
and are building craft that are not going to get destroyed when they hit her. And the main reason you can kind of tell that too is because anytime you hear about a craft being recovered, with the exception of two, it's always in one piece. So it kind of makes my argument for me. But then there's the other problem. What is actually an alien craft and what is not? Ketzberg is not an alien craft. The one, the great airship in Texas, great case. I think it was our first attempt of some type of, I think they tried to make like a nuclear powered blimp. When you go back and read, there was some type of radiation involved. That's all I can tell you.
Yes, there was. There was some.
But when you listen to the descriptions and the debris, it sounds like it's original.
The well, and then the well, everyone made sick.
Yeah, well, the guy had pulled out. He had pulled out like girder rods and stuff like that, square frame, which looked like something you would see like in the Lindenberg or the Zeppelin, one of the Zeppelins.
Rigid frame.
Like so I'm thinking, and it would have been around the right time. Would have been late 1800s. Somebody said, hey, look, you know what? We can build this craft. This thing can be beastified. We can zip across the ocean and just and come back. You know how our government is. So, but last I heard, somebody went out there and cleaned it all up. Nobody ever said why, how.
Who did the last show on it? They found the well, and they thought they found the gravestone where the alien creature was buried. But they did bring a Geiger counter, and they Geiger countered the opening to the well, and it clicked more than it should, but it wasn't like, if it was a big radiation thing, it would have done something like that. But they did determine that there was higher than normal background radiation in that well. So that's something. It's significant.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people got sick that lived there. They got sick from the water and all. And I heard a lot of different stories on what kind of sickness. It all sounded like it had something to do with something radioactive.
Yeah, fingernails falling out, hair falling out, boils and sores opening on the flesh.
You know what? It could have just simply been something. I'm making all nefarious. They said it might not have been. Hey, Heidi, it might have been something less. They may have found some type of. Maybe it was the first time they ever got their hands on uranium. And they were transported it, and it just killed everybody or caused the ship to crash because they didn't know what it was. Come on. I mean, everybody who worked originally with uranium all died because of why they didn't know that it was giving off waves.
They didn't know you couldn't prolonged contact with human skin. You will get cancer.
Yes. Or worse. Just melt your organs. It's, No, just lots of famous people. Her name escapes me at the moment, but
Well, there's also the guy that I don't know his name either. He worked with Oppenheimer, and they were working with the plutonium, and the plutonium ball fell off of its where they were working on it, and it started to roll off the table. And before it landed on the floor, one of the scientists caught it and picked it up and put it back, and he died almost a week later, I think.
yeah, it's because they didn't know what it was. They found out though, unfortunately, at the expense of a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
They figured it out. But anyway, so now when we talk about Oumuamua or Atlas, now these could be a different type of craft. This could be something more along the lines of something maybe we could build if we found the right thing.
Well, the way Oumuamua was described is if it is an artificial craft, it is likely a elongated asteroid that whoever made it found and hollowed out and put their equipment in it.
Yeah. Well, they're probably both like that.
Well, I don't know because now that the latest thing with 3i Atlas was that it not only has it slowed down, and it's now glowing green instead of white, and it's going from the front instead of the back where a comet should, but it's also been expelling gases that are of the type of gases that, although they also do occur naturally, the way that they've been coming out of this thing makes scientists think that they're the type of gases that come from a type of engine or mechanical device that uses those gases as propellants or energy. So it sounds like a spacecraft that's been made to look like a comet or a broken up comet. But I think it's going to be a 100% artificial thing, just made to look like a comet. So it's probably like a metal that they painted or put.
But I would think, because we know from our own asteroid belt that there's huge pieces out there, 10, 15 miles, probably
easily
solid metal. So I imagine if you had the technology, you could just go in there and burrow them out and use. I mean, that's what we're going to do on Mars.
They could burrow into and make.
You know that, right? That's what Elon plans on doing on Mars. Is found in underground places and using Olympus Mons to protect ourselves against not just radiation, but micrometeorites. Because people, let me tell you something about Mars real quick while we're on this subject. So Mars is great. It's going to be a great planet when we get there. We're going to have a lot of fun. Going to float around, get all weirded out. You're going to live longer. But they have these things called micrometeorites, which hit our planet all the time, every day, millions and millions of the bastards. Problem for them is we have an atmosphere that doesn't necessarily allow them to come through.
No, almost all of that probably have burnt away before they even get to the cloud level.
Yeah, so it's pretty much gone. And the ones you see streaking across the sky are usually decent little chunks, but they don't usually hit the ground either. I'm not saying none of them ever do, but on Mars, that is different. Everything hits the ground.
Well, I can tell you this. Every day, the Earth is hit with at least 300 rocks from space that are about the size of a human fist or heart. Every week, the Earth is hit with about 50 or so pieces that are about the size of a car, like a Volkswagen or like a small compact, economy car. And then like once a month, something about the size of a boulder, a little bit larger than a car, usually plunging into the ocean. And that's about the extent of it. Nothing really, really that's going to extinguish the planet, but we are hit frequently with a lot of stuff.
Well, we gain mass every year from all sorts of things.
The planet
also
is
gain
growing.
water every year too.
I was anti that theory, and I had a huge argument with the Strongs about the planet increasing in mass. And I'm like, how? And they're like, all that crap falling out of the sky. And I was like, damn it, you're right.
Yeah, well, that's how we found out about the water thing. Nobody realized we gained water every year.
Yeah.
It's, my favorite one is when they found out the moon was leaving, and they were like, "See that right there pretty much gives you a good idea that there was some sort of collision, because it's going away now. It's not."
Well, also because the rocks on the surface of the moon, number one, are the older rocks, which they should be the newer rocks, which is weird, but their chemical composition does not match those rocks that are of Earth. So it didn't come from Earth; it just hit into Earth.
Gene, I did hear that before about that particular mountain range lines up with the trenches in the
Which
Pacific
one?
Ocean. It's I did hear.
Which one?
Oh, I don't know. He said he just said, did you ever hear about the mountains that lined up with the trench?
Oh.
I actually have. I've heard about it a couple of times, but in all fairness, I haven't really looked at it that hard. You got to verify everything. No, last I remember hearing, I was watching some show. It's actually something to do. I was watching something to do with the pyramids and the building of the pyramids, and this was just like a side piece on it. And yeah, that's what they were talking about. I don't know. It's strange. I'm still looking for the Pow Talk people. Yes, it's in here somewhere. I just seen something when I did a search, so it's probably in there somewhere. But I mean, no, Atlas could be either one, guys. No, we're not saying anything in stone. It could be man, or I should say, alien made. It could be alien made, carved out of something. It could be a combination of both. It may be something that they carved all out and then poured and made like it's like, we pour concrete in tunnels. They may have something else they use, some other type of material. In some places, it probably shines through the rock itself. But who knows? Well, I mean, you can make anything look like a rock if you really wanted to. I mean, we had tank covers that made them look like rocks. We had all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact,
they used that netting in World War I and II that they would cover tanks and other equipment, AA guns and howitzers. And from the sky, this netting had it's just like cargo netting, but they put these camouflage things on it, and from the air it would look like a bush.
Yeah, it's so yeah, I saw that picture too. I'll find it after a while. So that picture of Atlas is a funny picture, the first clear picture. It looks like there's somebody standing on the front of it surfing backwards or something. Because there's something. So when you look at the picture, I'll go find it in a minute, but when you look at the picture, there's something on the very front of it. It looks like it looks like a hood ornament almost. It's weird.
Like one of those things on the end of the Rolls Royce.
All the old cars used to have them. They all used to have them floppy little hood ornaments on it. That's what it looks like. So you were one of the kids who go around and snap them off and steal them? What an ass. Them things were expensive. Still are expensive. You know what? Now the fancy cars, though, you can flip them over and lock them in so you can't get them. Yeah, that's some cool shit they would come up with. Bentley emblem or Mercedes emblem or any high dollar car emblem. I imagine they're worth a little cha-ching these days. So I agree. Why hasn't Atlas actually made any real contact with us? Well, depends who you ask. Some people say they have. Some people say that it's talking to something else and we're eavesdropping.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It could be, and same thing with Oumuamua. It could have just been coming in through to pick up radio signals.
Well, so the original NASA thing was that they had picked up a signal. Originally, I heard it came from Oumuamua. Then they said, no, it came from Atlas. Now they're acting like there's two signals, one from each one. But no one said if they were broadcasting to each other. They just said there was two signals. And that in both signals, it seemed like that we had just, because we have shit everywhere.
Which way are the signals heading? Do they tell?
That's the point. So the signal was like this. You know, like when you take a rock and you drop it in the water and it goes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the signal's doing.
Huh.
It's omnidirectional. So what the hell kind of signal is that? Is that like, let me tell the whole universe that there's people living here?
Or, distress signal or a locator beacon? What? Yeah, what?
Because, usually your signal is going to be pointing in the direction you want it. That's how they did it in the service. Yeah, they pointed it to, narrowed it down, brought the beam in, made it more powerful, sent it to somebody real quick, light speed. Yeah, light speed communication is great. I'm sure somebody's got faster than that, but it's great for us. It makes things more legit.
I will be right back. It looks like one of the purple blue kittens got out, and I'm going to have to try to find them and put them back upstairs. So I'll be back in a minute.
We had an escapee, people. Yes. Anyway, getting back to Atlas, I'm gonna find a picture while we're talking, but it's odd that there's not more data on this thing. So there was there's a fair amount of data, but there's not a ton.
Here is one of the escapees. This is Boris. He's a Russian blue. I'm gonna go put him back up in the attic.
Escapee cats. What can you do? Probably part freaking alien. That's why. Yeah, because they said cats don't see you as you; they see you as like a blob thingy. Yeah, that's for a whole different show now. We'll say that for a different show. But anyway, getting back to Atlas, so this thing is looks like it's going to pass through. It's going to go right past Mars. It's going to come by us, but like on the other side of us, it's hard to explain. Like that's kind of sort of the opposite side of where Mars is, so it's a little further away. It's not going to get like really super close, but 187 million miles or something. I forgot. You can look it up. It'll tell you. No, the sun's a little bit closer than that. I'm just laughing. No hate. I'm just laughing. We're all just laughing together. But getting back to is it alien or not? It's the closer it gets, the better pictures we'll get of it, the more we'll understand of it. Why it's doing this, why it's doing that. I don't well, if it's hostile, it sure hasn't said anything or acted like it is. Really hasn't acted like it's friendly either. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's paying all that much attention to little old Earth. Seems like it's more interested in Mars. Maybe they're looking for a new home. Maybe they figure Mars is easier to terraform than Venus. I mean, I don't know how many of y'all know this, but originally everybody wanted to go to Venus, not to Mars, because they thought Venus was going to be more like Earth, and it would probably just be some type of lush green planet, from all the greenhouse gas. But no, they, of course, we all know it's basically hell on a planet. Did you know you can land on Venus without parachutes or thrusters? I'll let y'all work on that one. It's a bad planet. It's rough. It could be terraformed. It could be changed. It could be cooled. The gases could be let off, and it could be cooled. We know the upper atmosphere of Venus is identical to Earth, so we know at one time the planet was like Earth, just like we know at one time Mars was like Earth. And now it's looking more and more like the asteroid belt was not a planet that didn't form, but a planet that did form and was later destroyed. There's something to do with some metals they found that can only be made under certain types of pressure that you just wouldn't find in an asteroid, or it had to be like deep inside of a planet or something. Well, it would be, if it was a planet, it would be 5 times the size of Earth, which of course that would be the size of Nibiru. Everybody always talks about the 10th planet, which by the way would be the 9th planet. There's somebody the other day was telling me the 10th planet. I said, well, we only got 8 planets, man. What do you mean? We're going to find 2? Hey, I did not declassify Pluto, so bite me. No, it had nothing to do with me. I liked Pluto being a planet. Matter of fact, when we went cruising by it with that satellite, it looked like a planet. It really felt like a planet with its little moon Charon. Yeah, I mean, it looked like an active planet. I don't know if there's life on it or not, goofball, but I'm not saying there couldn't be, but it looked like an active planet. You know what it looked like? What's the blue guys on Star Trek? It looked like their homeworld's what it looked like. Yes. I don't know. It's cool though. Because they keep going back and forth on the damn signal. So originally, we'll just do the whole story. So originally, there was a story leaked to the press about Oumuamua was turning around, and not only was it turning around, it had company with it. And then there was a wave release that they said was a communication that was sent to us by Oumuamua. That's their words, not mine. And that this communication, even the part that they'd already had identified, actually had it actually had a copy of the gold disc on it. Well, a piece of the gold disc on it. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, back when they launched Voyager, they actually put a gold record on it with all kind of information.
A gold-plated phonograph and instructions on how a technological society could build a record player to play it and listen to it.
Yes. Well, now we have disc people. We send them that we little chips. We send them. We said, we just send a piece of silicon and let them figure it out on their own. That's what are these humans? What is this piece of? What is this they gave us? They probably use crystals, which would have more storage and capability and produce at faster rates. But anyway, I digress. Getting back to Atlas again for the 8th time. It's it just doesn't have that alien feel to it. But I'd like to be wrong on this. As long as they're not here to kill us, I'd like to.
Well, if it's slowing down, something's slowing it down. If it's not gravity well, then it's more than likely it's going to be it has to be a spacecraft if it's slowing down on its own accord. There's no other recourse. But if they can determine that the slowdown is due to it passing by Jupiter or Saturn and getting caught in the gravity well and losing some speed, that I can deal with. But if it continues slowing down and slows down to the point where it might even like enter atmospheres, that could be a concern. So it might, I mean, come on, it's something that's slowing down usually means it's under control, some kind of remote control or powered flight. It's not a flying object. It's a spaceship. It's not just some random rocks, flying through the air, atmospheres.
Oh, it's it. 2009 kilometers an hour.
But we haven't talked about this either. It could also be, this could be the false flag event or the beginning of it.
Wait, say it again. This stupid thing broke up right as you said that.
3I Atlas may be, or Oumuamua, one of them or both of them could be the false flag alien invasion from, those powers that be that they say they're going to do that before 2030.
But how are they going to get something that far out in space? I mean, that's not like it's just out there. That's way out there. I mean, right now it's way out there. I mean, when they discovered it was way
a hologram. I don't know.
And remember, the first one was actually found by an amateur astronomer. Yeah, get that shit, people. An amateur astronomer.
Well, that's exactly how Armageddon starts. As an amateur astronomer finds the asteroid that's about to smack into Earth and kill it, and that's when they send Bruce Willis up there, and he goes and blows up the rock.
Yes, people. Fantasy stuff. Yes.
Entertaining movie,
but asteroid in space.
Improbable concept.
Yeah, it's not impossible. I mean, core drilling an asteroid in deep space. Yeah, you can do it. Maybe.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of buts. But
splitting a natural flying object like on the right cleavage plane to make it split directly in two, and then to have it separate far enough apart just so it passes by on the Earth and doesn't hit it. Come on, that never happened in a million years. Deflecting it would be probably a more easily done task. So, attaching a bunch of rockets to one side and go and like move it to one side, that it would be a lot more feasible. I can see that happening.
Well, I'm thinking more like drill a son of a bitch halfway down, drop one of them George Bush's planet busters, and then watch it turn to little pebbles.
Well, that's what they did. I mean, they drilled like 800 feet and then dropped a nuke in it.
Yeah, but you're right. They split it so it would go just pass on each side, just close enough that it didn't tear the atmosphere off.
Rocks have a cleavage in them. Some rocks will split like flat planes. Others will they'll crumble in different ways. To find the exact point on that asteroid, when you have days before it hits, I don't think it would be possible to find the exact key point.
They had like a year or something before they got it.
How wrong? I still don't think it would be enough. And then the other thing is that it was a natural rock in the movie. It wasn't a spaceship. It's a natural.
Yeah, see, anytime you get into stuff like that,
right down the middle, right on that cleavage plane, and do that around the planet it's impossible. It's fantasy.
Well, you'd have to catch it way out there to start off with to make it worth the chance.
Probably so. Even that, yeah, way out of our.
Then if you messed up, at least you'd have time to try again, and maybe break it up so that it's all, because each time it would get further away. But you see people, that's all fine diverting them this time, but next time, they might come faster. I mean, look, Apophis is coming, people.
Yep.
It's going to dip right below the communication satellites and then pop back out and head out. And if it doesn't hit the sweet spot, we're good for a while. And if it does hit the sweet spot, well, 2029 is going to be an interesting.
It'll return on 2029 and slam probably into the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, especially if you live on the east coast of America or the west coast of China. You will probably be adios amigos. What do you mean 50 feet tidal wave? No, you better try more like 1,500 foot tidal.
More like 1,000, 10,000 foot wave.
Yeah, it'd be rolling up in there, knocking buildings over.
But something the size of Apophis, if it strikes even the Atlantic Ocean, when it does, it's going to be so hot. It's moving like 200,000 miles an hour. We'll just round it up. 200,000 miles an hour, this thing is probably rolling through the galaxy. When it hits our atmosphere, it's going to heat up to the point of becoming molten. It'll be a giant globule of liquid, whatever it is, whatever kind of rock it is. It'll be liquid. When it slams into the water, it's going to instantly boil all the way down to the bottom floor of the ocean, 8-9 miles down. Boom, and that entire volume of water that it goes through is instantly flash boiled and turned into steam. The entire planet is now under a hurricane. But that's what will happen within the first 5 minutes.
Chris, as far as I know, Atlas isn't coming here. It's
Apophis is going to do that.
Yeah, Apophis is coming here. That's what Jason right now is Apophis. It's Apophis is. We've been warned about it. It's not the only one. There's 3 or 4 of them that are coming through over the next few years.
There are hundreds of them, though.
Yeah, but these are coming inside the moon and Earth. Anytime they get that close, that's risky business. Not just because of Earth. We have all kind of satellites.
Those are more dangerous, but there are lots of NEOs. Most of them we can't see, and almost all of them are bigger than Volkswagens.
What do you mean? The Chinese want to do what? They want to put up a meteor sweeper. Whatever. Nobody's letting the Chinese put up nuclear weapons in space.
No.
Not unless you want to start a war.
Yeah, I think the weapons that we already have up there would come into play if they try to do anything in space with a nuclear device.
Actually, China needs to think about decreasing their military. It's what's putting them in a hurt right now. Well, they're making the same mistake, and I shouldn't even say this, but they're making the same mistake as the Soviet Union did. They're financially trying to compete with the United States. And even if they could find a way to compete with just us, they'd still have to compete with all of our allies. They can't, there's no way. They just don't, there's no way for them to get the money. So they're trying to do like Russia tried to do to keep up with the rates of technologies. That's why they steal so much and buy so much from treasonous people from our country. Yes. You can bet your ass if they thought Atlas was a real extraterrestrial craft, I would be and imagine that they would be in a push to get some kind of craft out there.
Well, A, I agree with you, and B, I don't think they would tell us. I don't.
Oh no, they wouldn't tell us, but we'd know. Yeah, we'd know.
Oh yeah, well, the researchers would know, but I don't think the planet as a whole would know, and they wouldn't know until They would hide it until the very last second before it would be found by the largest privately owned telescopes.
Yeah. And some of them, they could have probably made deals with them to shut up, depending on what was going on. And if the Americans had some saying that they might shut it up altogether. So, no, I would think same thing with the U.S. If we thought there was something there, we'd say, hey, Elon, we need to go visit this rock, my friend. Get it going. We need it here in like 4 months. Elon say, all right, man. And he'd build it and we'd go. Look, what was the other one? Just one of the companies yesterday were having trouble. One of the other companies that brings stuff to the space station, it's got a bunch of stuff in orbit right now because their thrusters failed and they can't it can't get any higher till the engine's failed, so it's stuck where it's at. But all with
wow.
11,000 pounds of cargo.
How much?
11,000 pounds.
Oh, that's nothing.
That's for the space station. That's a buttload.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry. I'm underwhelmed by that number because I deal with trucks that are carrying 80, 90,000 pounds.
Of course, but they're not on a space station, man. I mean, we're talking space. 11,000 pounds is a lot of weight for a little space station.
Yes.
Especially when that's in
the space station itself probably only weighs a total of 90,000 tons altogether.
Technically, the space station is not an outer space. It has microgravity. There's actually gravity on the space station. Yes.
Yeah, I think they have. Don't they have? Isn't there a module that spins and they like basically they're walking on the wall, the hull of the ship.
Well, they got some kind of thing. I don't know how it works. I got that, but the space station itself is in orbit in microgravity. I don't know why they always say there's no gravity, but there is some gravity. Yes, and
it's like I think the way to describe the space station is like being in the airplane that they do the deep dives with, so they can train the astronauts on how to be. It gives the effective weightlessness for about I think 2 minutes while the plane goes down and goes back up. So that's what they describe the feeling like. It's like being a constant state of that. Like if you push off the wall, you'll go to the other side of the building, but if you use a little bit of power, you can move yourself pretty easily.
What are you talking? Why are you saying this? You can see the space station through a telescope, right? Not even you can see it through a pair of binoculars.
If you have a good telescope, a really good, like 1,000 power telescope or higher, and you look at the moon, you might not see the equipment, but you will see the equipment of the Apollo space missions, all 6 or 7 of them. You'll see the shadows of the flag or the shadows of the landing equipment that we left there. There's stuff there that leaves a shadow. You can see it from Earth. And when, let's see, who was it? Russia, China. Oh, what's that other company? India. All of them did a bunch of flybys and then sent pictures of our stuff on the Earth. So why would they fake that for us? They wouldn't.
I never could think why everybody thought that Russia would have lied for us.
Yeah, and that's the first.
It made no sense. Russia and China and Cuba and everybody was going to lie.
Of the guy that looks like Kubrick saying, "I faked the moon landing." That's not Kubrick. It's some dude that looks like Kubrick. That video has been debunked.
But
people still believe that video is real.
But in all fairness, now Stanley was asked to do I forgot what they called it.
Oh, he wasn't just asked. He actually consulted the entire NASA program.
But he was asked to make, I forgot what they called it, but it was supposed to be in case something happened.
Oh, he was a backup, yes, in case the guys died on the tarmac. But he was also he came into the program at the Gemini level where they were just learning how to they were just coming up with the idea of putting ships together and pulling the LEM out of the command module and doing all that stuff they do before they land on the moon.
Yeah. He
developed the camera systems that they use to train the astronauts to hit the targets, like dock with other ships and connect and pull the LEM out and all of that camera stuff that they used as the flight simulators. That's Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, he made all the stuff for NBC, ABC, and CBS, all the simulations and all.
Yeah.
That's why so many people said it was fake. I was like, guys, did you not? I said, how do you think they were seeing it before it happened, people? They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, because it was fake. I said, no, because it was a simulation, you idiot. Oh my God. But the sad part is the real shit looked so much like the simulation. It wasn't, because it was all in black and white.
But it's Stanley Kubrick. I mean, come on. He's one of my favorite directors. Fantastic guy. His most scariest and
Jeffrey, all you have to do is ask yourself.
Movie is A Clockwork Orange. It is a sci-fi movie, and you should all check it out. It's very violent, but
it is very violent.
It's a statement on the violence that we ourselves create on ourselves, A, and B, it's a statement on how we should and should not correct such behaviors. Very good movie.
Yes, I say shoot the whole effing bunch of
them. Yep, I agree with you, but that's just me. And you.
Yes, it's what are you talking about? No, you can probably rent A Clockwork Orange. Yeah,
it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm sure on one of those.
They probably make you pay for the damn thing. They probably do make you pay for the thing.
You might, depending on what service you have, you might get a freebie. You never know. You can get it on Amazon and buy the disc if you're a collector and you like good movies.
So, Raimi, why do you think only rich people are going to get to go to Mars? I'm just curious.
Look,
only be the ones that can.
Rich people need ditch diggers too. So the rich people going to Mars wanting to build their new
too. Everything they have here, they're going to want there.
Yes, you're going to need to have trade skilled people with you, and that means people who know hardware, people who can handle hardware, and people who can build and construct with that hardware.
Your little osmosis thing outside, keeping your oxygen running. It's No, I want my ashes taken into space when I croak. I'm moving people. I'm going somewhere else.
I've had enough of you. Immortality. I am getting buried on this earth. I want to be in the earth when it explodes.
You humans, I'm getting out of here. You humans. And I'm having shoot me straight at that black hole so I can find a whole nother galaxy.
The shapely center of the galaxy? Is that what you mean?
No, they found that big huge thing floating out there in deep space.
Oh, is that the one that took the picture of it? It's like it's like it got a red hot outer edge to it.
I don't know. They just said it's the second largest one ever found.
Let me see if I can find that. It was awesome, and it might be the same one, but it looks like a a drain in your sink, but on fire.
Yeah, they're telling what it was eating. You mean, Dean, you're talking about the ones in our galaxy? No, there's one in our galaxy, and
they're pretty sure that
they're not always on. Yeah, sometimes it's eaten, sometimes it's not. Yeah, it eats it and it takes a break, and it even burps sometimes. No, really, it burps. It's I can't pronounce his name. Levet. Just check out cosmic pulse theory. So every so often they figured out that our black hole in our galaxy burps. It gives off a pulse of energy about every 26,000 years. So what he theorizes, every 26,000 years, this would happen. And for about 1,000 years, you could actually see this little blue-white star headed here, and then it kept getting brighter and brighter and brighter until all of it started to fill our solar system with debris and dust and stuff that this pulse wave had picked up coming through the cosmos. Well, they've actually found the stuff on the planet now. Yes, about every 26,000. Actually, they found one time they found a 26, 13, 26, 13, 13, 26, 26. But it does seem like that there's somewhere out there there's a cosmic pulse headed this way.
There is it's in our geological record of this planet. There is a cyclical destruction.
So much so that
they needed out at around summer 32,000. But there's also the same patterning is in the floor of the ocean. There's so many, I think it's 32,000 years between, but you have the rocks facing North Pole. The North Pole flips. The next 32,000 years, they're like that. And then like that. The whole floor of the ocean is like that. Alternating bands of alternated magnetically opposite parts of the floor bed. The whole ocean floor is like that. Meaning that something cyclical, like a clock, hits and it flips. Hits and it flips, and it's. I think we're overdue, but if it flips bad, it could. The whole planet could go all at once. Not a good thing. But I did find the pictures of the new black hole.
I don't know. I think that just says space on it. What do y'all think, guys and girls?
Well, I got to get over to it here.
He's messing around.
What is that? Oh, that just came up. So, totally unexpected, stunning imagery shows big changes in the first black hole ever captured by humanity. Photo and video. Oh, I didn't know that a video. There we go. It's April 18th, 2021. Where's the video? Here we go. Of course, there's an ad.
I wonder how much they had to scrub out of this thing. It took 4 years to make it public.
Yeah. This just came out like a day ago. This article.
I know, people. This just came out. That's what we were talking about. Yeah, this hasn't been out for a long time.
I don't know if this is just an ad spot and that's where the video is going to be, but it started out looking like it. Ad 1 of 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. This thing is just replete with ads. Wow. I thought light wasn't supposed to escape, or is that? I guess that's the event horizon.
Yeah, it's
you
eating something.
You're getting that, you're dead.
Yeah, it's eating something. Something.
You get,
man,
but you get anywhere near that, so you know where to stop. You're dead if you get anywhere inside that. Wow.
Actually, if they're correct about the gravity inside a black hole, it would crush you to the thickness of 1/1,000,000th of the thickness of your hair. Yeah. Basically back to atoms.
They're showing you how they got the picture of it.
I wonder what it's eating.
Or maybe it's just getting a reflection of that. So they're getting the images from this, whatever this is, highlighting and backlighting the actual black hole. Holy wow. Simulated image.
It's crazy stuff, people.
Yeah.
Knowing this thing's out there just to swallow you whole. Yeah, not us whole. I mean your whole solar system just.
Yeah, that's what they suspect is in the middle of our galaxy is a black hole that's slowly sucking everything into it.
So what came first, the galaxy or the black hole?
Chicken or the egg?
Was it a
maybe galaxies can't exist without. I mean, look at almost every galaxy. They look like something going down the drain.
They look like a hurricane.
Something's going down the drain, and they're going.
Everything is spinning. Everything is spinning.
Yes.
Planets.
If you don't spin, there's no gravity. Without gravity, there's no liquid water. Without liquid water.
But I mean, the solar system's spinning. The galaxies are spinning.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Jeffrey. If you can say there's one galaxy. Technically, there is the one we live in, not the solar system. The galaxy. That's where all the other. But there's not one galaxy. Look in the damn sky, and you'll see millions and billions and zillions of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
some of those aren't solar
you're thinking,
stars.
No. So, Jimmy, you're thinking universe. So, solar system is us. Galaxy is where all of the people, our neighbors, live in the Milky Way, and then there's other galaxies. But the universe is the one you're thinking there's one of. And technically, you're right. Even though there's supposed to be a multiverse, which is a whole other thing, but technically, you're right. It's one universe. That's what original science taught you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they can't exactly prove the multiverse. They sort of can, but they can't.
It's sort of on the.
It's sketchy.
Fringe science still, actually.
It's sketchy. No, Jack. It is. It's a little on the sketchy side. I don't see. That's what looks like is on Atlas. That thing he's got, that little gray looking thing he's got on it. That alien.
Yeah, it's a little gray kitty.
It's not a real kitty, people. It's a gray.
It's an alien.
Jay just don't know he got an alien on it. Right?
Alien. Yeah. He's not used to our gravity yet.
Yeah, that's right. Crashed the guy.
First, right into the dirt. Way to go, buddy.
Well, no, didn't he? So let's say aliens shoot this thing from wherever they happen to be. So we know the closest solar system to us is, of course, Proxima. And it don't look like it came from Proxima. Well, they're saying this and the other one. Okay, the first two look like they came from the same area. This last one looks like it came from a different part of space. Then Oumuamua, yeah, it didn't come from the same region.
Well, didn't they say Oumuamua came from outside the galaxy also?
Well, they didn't say that. They just said it came from outside of our solar system.
Yeah, I know. Several of them actually came from outside our solar system, the last three of them. But one of those three, they actually think they said that they suspect it may have come from outside the galaxy.
Well, I don't know how
like it was roaming between galaxies somehow and got caught into our galaxy. I don't understand, but
I thought I heard that. All they say these days is the 3 interstellar objects is what they call them.
Yeah.
And one of them was just a perfect little rock just cruising on through. Oumuamua was a little controversial, which was the first one, by the way. And then, of course, now we're talking about 3i Atlas, which seems to be a little more controversial.
Yes.
Well, you can look up, I mean, you can go on YouTube right now and type in alien signal from 3i Atlas or Oumuamua, and you're going to come up with some. But
Yeah,
is it
and also,
true or not is the question.
Are we able to lock down when the Black Knight satellite? When did it change? It changed
Oh,
orientation.
and of course now they're saying it doesn't exist again. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. It's
Right.
crazy. Well, no. Whoops! What did I do? So, guys, a couple of weeks ago, somebody at NASA, I guess, panicked over 3i Atlas, and one of the lower satellites cruising around our planet reported that this satellite had moved and turned facing out. Right now, then it was facing down towards our planet. At least they think it was. They're not 100% sure, but they think it was facing down. This thing made a complete 180 and was facing out, but not just a 180. It was facing on the angle that it would be facing directly towards 3i Atlas. And then, of course, now all of a sudden, NASA don't know what anybody's talking about. You can't find the person who worked for them, even though they had stated and put their name out. And then they start talking about the signal. So right in the beginning, NASA and then we're talking about this signal. And then they got the shut up orders. And then it went from just shutting up to what signal are you talking about? And you can still find the videos online where NASA was actually talking about this. But all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden, hush, hush. Sweep it under.
I don't know if it's because of what it says or they can't figure out what it says. It sounded really like they couldn't figure out what it said and it was making everybody nervous.
The fact that it says anything is probably reason enough for NASA to sweep it under the rug.
Well, that's the other part. When the guy said about it that it had part of the gold disc on it, that made it seem like it had stored this and was looking for this.
So it had the actual. We don't know that it had the actual disc, but
it sounded like
recording from the disc.
Yeah, it sounded like there was just they even said what it was. I can't remember now, but it was just a specific piece.
Okay, so I think on the first Voyager, the record had I forget the guy who was the narrator, very famous narrator, narrated about what the satellite was and where it was coming from. And there were sounds of babies, elephants, and flora and fauna of the African continent. Sounds of like New York City and London, like, busy, honking noises, rush hour traffic kind of stuff, and a few other things. That's really basically what was on it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they just said it was a piece of the gold disc, and that's when they started thinking maybe this message wasn't for us. Maybe this message was meant for something else. And I was kind of like, well,
why would an alien probe use our probe's disc as
to tell whatever it's telling, hey, look, we found where this thing came from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when you start thinking about how aliens communicate, first off, I think they're going to communicate in a much different way than we do.
If it's all telepathic, then they can. I don't know what the range is. Can they send a thought across the universe, across the galaxy, across the solar system?
I don't
What's
know.
the range?
I would imagine. I would imagine it's probably all set up to go to their ships, and then their ships just broadcast it wherever it needs to go. For all of the races, I imagine it probably works like that. But the Greys and reptilians, Greys are one thing telepathically. The reptilians and the humans, they're telepathic, and I mean a much higher rate than we are. But even their telekinesis skills are not really all that good. Not like anything like the Greys. The Greys seem to have full telekinesis, whereas the other two seem to be very, very telepathic and very empathic and a few other things along with that. But they don't seem to really possess that technology. Come to me, lightsaber.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to be there yet. Which kind of bothers me because they're a really old race. I mean, they're a few 100 million years old, so they should.
Mm-hmm.
All it tells me is it's going to be a little longer for us than we all thought. That's all. We're not just going to become super telepathic.
Maybe not. I mean, there are allegedly some technologies that are in the special access programs that we're not allowed access to. But allegedly, there are some technologies out there that are on their way to coming out that would, in essence, I can't remember his name all the time. The guy who was the former leader and CEO of the Skunk Works, he basically said that they have technologies that would eliminate poverty and hunger. That's very it's encouraging, but when is it coming out?
So wait, what's this guy putting up here? Interstellar visitors like Comet 3I Atlas are the most common objects in the Milky Way. They're almost
they're saying
always,
water ice comets are the most common thing in the that's
so
like
they're
saying
they're almost always one within
methane comes from cows.
So they're saying that there's almost always one in the solar system. Well, how come you've only found 3? Yeah, see. Yeah, y'all just that's the Europeans trying to make up some bullshit because they can't explain something away. Jimmy, nobody's saying it's an alien. We don't know. I would like to be able to tell you, yes, that's an extraterrestrial craft. It's just passing by. I wanted to say hi. It's headed out of the solar system. It's going somewhere else. The problem with these craft, supposable craft, according to their trajectories, come from billions of miles away, and they're only traveling 134,000 miles an hour, 200,000 kilometers an hour. So that's, I know it sounds fast, but crossing cosmic space at that speed is like watching a turtle in the hair.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like, it would take them forever to get anywhere to do anything. If it's a probe, it would be a highly inefficient probe. Because going that slow, it would probably, if it even has memory banks, would fill them up before it even got to its final destination. So it would have to probably record.
That's if it has a final destination. I mean, Voyagers don't have a final destination. They may not either. This could be something.
But they only have finite information, and at some point they're going to have to start dumping stuff that they've memorized, in the memory course.
I was thinking if you were going to build a something like this that's going to go long distances, that every now and then you'd probably drop a buoy of some sort of communication buoy, so that this thing could communicate backwards. And obviously there does seem to have been 2 signals, so it is communicating somewhere. But the problem is this thing, does it go faster when it gets in between solar systems?
Yeah. Well,
we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know what the thing is. I can tell you this. One of the Voyager devices went offline. I think it was the first one. But it went offline. I don't know if you remember this, but then it came back online 8 years after it went offline back on its trajectory. I think it had gone off of its trajectory when it failed. And whatever was broken on it when the mission failed 8 years prior, that system was now repaired. Woo!
Yeah, well, that's happened at least twice that I can think of.
That's some wacky shit, though. I mean, why
one
would
of it sounds like something
and stop working, and then all of a sudden it self-repaired itself? How does that happen?
That's happened more than once, that it seemed to have repaired itself. And that's not just the Voyagers, it's 2 of the rovers on Mars. The one rover said it was dead, it was over with, it was done, don't worry about it. Next morning, damn thing starts working. Everybody's like, what the hell happened? And when they panned the picture down to see the solar plate, it looked brand new. I mean, it looks brand new. Like somebody went out there with some Windex and a cloth, a cheesecloth. I mean, they said it must
the one solar homeless guy standing on the street corner, shine shoes, mister.
Well, they said they think it was a dirt devil did it. Okay, and you know what? I could go for that, but wait. It had ran for a few days, which means it had no charge. I don't think it was daylight at the time, and
takes those things a while to charge on Mars because there's very little sunlight.
Probably, I would think at least a couple of hours, 4 or 5 minimum.
So it was charged up and ready to roll. It just sounds like somebody came in and plugged in a new solar battery and let it go. Hey, have some fun. Well, we don't know what's on Mars, people. Just because the top of a planet's dead doesn't mean the inside of it's dead. Olympus Mons
And there are
place.
some rumors in the rumor mill among UFO researchers that there is one or more alien species bases upon the surface or probably under the surface of Mars.
Kimmy, I did see that picture. There's a picture on JPL. Actually, Milan had posted it by accident, and they scrubbed it pretty fast. But anybody who got the original, there was a picture of what looked to be a silver saucer coming out of the top of Olympus Mons.
What?
Yeah, Olympus Mons is big, people. It's not like some little.
Yeah, it's isn't it? It's the largest.
By far the largest volcano in the solar system.
Yeah, and then the is it Io? I think is the most geologically active. It's like volcanoes every day there.
Well, they don't know yet because nobody can actually know what the hell is going on in Venus. Because Venus is supposed to just be basically a big melted top of a planet.
I was looking into that a little while ago, and it does seem like the Russians actually got some photographs. They got down to the ground, and it looks like rubble.
Yeah, the Russians, well, technically the Russians are who found Venus, but they had a lot of missions scheduled to go there, and they went a couple times and they just quit going.
No, they did a whole bunch. They did like 7 or 8 or 9.
I think it was 12.
It was a whole bunch.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe they did schedule 12 and quit at 8 or something. But they had done a lot.
Yeah, they did at least 6, 7, or 8 of them. The first 2 though are the weird ones. The first one they show the craft takes a picture of Venus, and then there's like a shadow on the planet of a cigar shape behind the spacecraft, the Russian spacecraft. So there was something flying behind it that was a cigar shape, and then that one began to enter the atmosphere and failed. Very strange. And the second one actually got down into the atmosphere, and then it crushed about like 700 feet into the cloud it went into.
So you knew you don't need a parachute or engines to land on Venus.
The atmosphere is so dense, it's like dropping a stone into water.
Yeah, you just.
Yeah.
Well, people. So we figured out a couple of ships that could probably withstand the pressure, but it's not just pressure. The atmosphere is basically acid. It's a pretty nasty place to live. Doesn't have to be though. We will have the technology to eventually terraform it, but the problem is we need to do terraform it with like in the next 500 million years or so, because it's only got 2.5 billion years of life left before Mother Sun goes red giant and just engulfs it. I think no, Jimmy. I think Mars survives. I don't know how close Mars will be to the red giant, but it's supposed to survive. It's only supposed to kill Earth, the first 3 planets. I think it's going to be like half the distance to right now.
All right, so these are some of the images that the Russians captured. So I think it's 82 is some of one of these. Thanks, kitty cat. Well, look at it's very strange. No plant life. It's all rubbly and like the bottom of an ocean.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
It be's a mess, man.
Yeah. Weird planet. Doesn't belong.
Oh, Jimmy, I don't know about all that. Oh, let me click this in and we'll see. Well, they haven't changed it all that much. I mean, it did. So it was speeding up, and then it kind of slowed down, but it should keep speeding up because it's getting ready to pass close on the trajectory it's on. It should actually speed up as it leaves our solar system. It's just like any trajectory we'd build to get something going faster. You know, we slingshot our probes out into space. That's basically what this thing's doing to itself. And that's why in the beginning people were like, well, you know, comets don't usually do those kind of things. Turning bright green. Look at that, huh?
Ooh, somebody got a picture of the methane being picked up by the sunset?
No, they're saying that 3i Atlas is now glowing bright green.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Yeah, it's now glowing bright green, and prior to that it started emitting a white light from the front, which is weird because comets usually they go up from the back. And then what else? Oh, it expelled gases that are similar to something that might come out of an engine.
Bright green.
Oh, specifically like some kind of an ion type of engine, I think is what they said in this article I glanced through.
So what are you talking about, Jay? You mean the Van Allen belt? That's what you were talking. Is that what you were raving about earlier? Nobody
Van
can
Allen
survive
belt goes around the planet, does it not? Yeah.
There's the inner there's the inner radiation belt and the outer radiation belt. So what are you saying? Nothing can survive the radiation in space? Well, without protection, you're right.
The Van Allen belt will kill you. In the Marvel universe, it created the Fantastic Four, gave them their 4 powers. Each of them was struck by a different wavelength of radiation, giving them each a different proclivity.
Oh, I don't understand what you're saying. No, a lot of things have gone through the Van Allen belt. Yes. So what are you talking about? Our spaceship? I'll tell you what. Before you go get crazy with going through the Van Allen belt and where the STS or where the space station goes through, go pull it up. You can look. So I'm gonna help you out with this. So you can go pull up a chart with the Van Allen belt and the things we have in space. And I think some of them even have the path that we took to go to the moon. Well, I'm telling you this because I don't think you quite understand the Van Allen belt. But so go find the chart or the thing, and you'll notice some interesting stuff about the belt itself. It's not quite what you think it is. But anyway, go look. We're here for a little while longer, so if you get any questions, just hit me back up.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, there's a good one. So Mish, if gamma rays had struck planet Earth, it would not have just killed the megafauna. It would have killed everything in the oceans, everything on the land, and all of the plankton. So the planet would essentially have been sterilized. What killed the megafauna is more than likely was the after effects of the Chicxulub meteor strike, which probably instantly killed, I would say probably on initial impact, 50% of the planet's population. And by the time it was over, 99% were dead. But most of the plants survived. Yay.
So, so Jimmy, how bad do you think the Van Allen belt is? Well, high intensity radiation can wreak havoc on electronics. I'm just asking you. Okay, there's a place I'm gonna tell you again. Maybe you can go to this one. Yeah, just go look for yourself. That's the best way to do it because it'll show you. So the breakdown I'm looking at right now just shows you the layers of the belt and the satellites between us, Earth, and the ones passing through it. Yeah, it even shows you where we keep our GPS satellites at if you want to know. Yes. Yes, we have a solar laboratory there at 22,000 miles. You can go check it out. The inner belt is between 1,000 and 8,000 miles. Yeah, go check it out. Learn some stuff. That's what science is about. Learn some stuff. and then come back and argue with me about how we got to the moon. How's that? Okay, there you go. What Denise said? What do you mean that's being condescending? No, what? I mean, but if you're gonna come argue about the Van Allen, at least know what the hell it is, or how it works, for that matter.
It's part. As far as I understand it, and I'm not an expert, but as far as I understand it, it's part of our magnetic shield. It's our magnetosphere that keeps it. The Van Allen belt, although it is radioactive, radiation is bad for you, will kill you. It's basically all the bad stuff that our magnetic belt, our magnetic shield has collected, and it just keeping it away from us by swirling it around the planet.
Yes, and leaking it back out into space. Well, first off, when we send a spaceship to like the moon, it's not exactly like it's doing a mile an hour or something. It's some bitch is cruising.
They're going pretty fast.
So even when you're talking about crossing 10,000 or 20,000 miles, it crosses pretty quickly. So the shielding, you need X amount of shielding, but since it's not a sustained radiation for hours at a time, you can.
They found that it was like a combination. It was a composite material, and in places of the spaceship, literally this shielding, you could put your foot through it. Was basically mylar foil, lead, and then another layer of mylar foil. And the lead part was like you can actually go to the hardware stores and get it. Used to be able to get it, now you can't because of the poison factors. But it's a very malleable, pliable metal, and they made little planes of it. That's what the whole spaceship was just this little piece of lead covered by mylar foil, and that's all it was between the space the space radiation and the astronauts inside. Literally, you can go see that spacecraft that we're talking about in down in the Washington D.C. Air and Space Museum. There are places where you can stick your foot directly through the hull of the craft, outside into outer space. Boom, you're dead. Van Allen radiation belt has got you. That's all the shielding they needed. Literally.
What? No, Jimmy, when they're in a capsule, that's different. So it's technically Apollo was like 3 ships. So yeah, because
that's
you
more
have
like
the
5.
landing
The
craft.
75 rockets like 2 stages, and then
I wasn't even talking about that. I was just talking about you had the capsule.
It's a lot of pieces that break off. Yeah.
You had the capsule, the lander, and the return vehicle, not including the big giant ass rockets that you just got up there on.
Yeah, they had the CMM, the LAM, and the I don't know what the last one is called, but it's the one that they return in.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them are separate vehicles, and they each one they're solid, riveted, vacuums from space capsules.
And and they're designed to keep you safe when everything else goes booga booga.
The LEM is the one with the very sketchy shielding where you can stick your foot through it.
Gee, I would go. You can see the landers all over the place. There are at least 5 countries. I think 6 countries now have taken active videos or active pictures of the landing sites. But again, I'm going to say this. If you didn't think we landed, I want you to tell me why Soviet Russia hid the truth from the world. Soviet communist Russia protected America, and so did Cuba and all the rest of the communists on the planet. Took up for us and lied because of what? So that we could look like the first ones that went to the moon?
Because we were.
60 countries tracked it, right? It might even been more than 60 countries. But I know for sure 60 countries tracked it because it took that many worldwide because the planet spins, people.
Yeah, at least 60 countries for the communications cascade around the planet. At least that many. And Australia was one of the biggest ones because we were over Australia for the longest time.
What do you mean the planet don't spin?
Yeah, well, because it's flat.
Maybe if it's flat, I'd have to spin. The stars move above your head.
Yeah, take a picture and then take another picture from the same vantage point, and you'll see the stars have moved some. You keep doing it, you'll get a.
Are you incorrect? Do you really think the planet's flat? Oh man, I don't even know what to think about you.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
Why? So,
So how does all the water stay on the planet?
Yeah.
All the pictures I've ever seen of flat Earth, the water's running off the sides. Where does all the water keep coming from? Yeah, you and your flat Earth, my ass. Me personally, I've seen the planet from right around 70,000 feet on an aircraft I was working at Fallon, Nevada, while I was in the U.S. Navy.
You can see it from 36,000 feet, half that distance. You're talking military.
Well, if the sky's right, you can. But if the sky's, sometimes it's overcast in the area.
Well, I mean, okay, yes. If you're flying through clouds, you're not going to see the planet. But if it's on a clear day, you can see the curvature of the Earth from a commercial airliner, 36,000 miles up, which is basically 7 miles off the planet. You're 7 miles in the air. You can see the curvature of the Earth from that height. You can see the curvature of the Earth from the height of the once and powerful World Trade Center towers. They were like 215 stories tall. I went up to the top of one of them, and when you get up that high, you can see where the Earth is beginning to curve. It's impossible for it to be flat.
It's
nothing avoidable.
Look, if it makes you feel good, it's flat. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah, be contrary. I don't care, but
I wonder how you get all these scientists and all these politicians and all these astronomers and all to lie for you, to lie for everybody. I'm confused, man.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a grand conspiracy, huh?
Your science doesn't cut it.
Again, if you want to think it's flat, that's fine. You just think whatever you want to think that it is.
We agree to disagree.
It can. No, so Planet X. Want me to tell you why Planet X hasn't passed by Earth? You want me to tell you why?
Because Planet X is a brown dwarf star, and it's rotating around.
Well, I don't know about all that, but according to the ancient ones, it's 5 times the size of the planet. It couldn't even get close to us without just devastating our planet.
Tear this. It would do what it did to the asteroid belt planet.
Yeah, it's that's probably what that. You know what? That probably is Planet X. The asteroid probably was the big planet. Jupiter probably just grabbed it and crushed it. Or maybe there was a war. We don't know.
Yeah.
But at one time there may have been a planet like that. And they always said, well, when it got close, they'd pull up and come. Well, that's probably true. When our perigee and theirs was close together, they probably launched from there and got there. That's what we do. We're going to go to Mars. We're going to wait when we're the closest.
For our closest approach to each other. It's the easiest, fastest way.
Yeah, so all of that makes sense. Now, according to science, that planet's been dead for a long time. Millions and millions of years. Well, none of us we know that somewhere 55 million years ago, 60 million years ago, something happened. Because we know Earth got smagabooed, then we had a great extinction. It looks like they're putting the same time frame around Mars, and if that's true, then Venus probably happened around the same time too.
Yeah, so whatever devastated the inner planets and whatever deposited the foreign planet Venus into orbit around our sun was a one-time event that happened with, I don't know if it all at once, but over a period of time, whatever it is, they're all related. It's one event.
Well, I would imagine. See, Mars looks like it took the most damage because it was probably the closest.
Oh, I don't think so. The 5th planet took the most damage. It's completely turned to rubble.
No, I'm talking about by the 5th planet.
Oh.
It's Mars got big gouges out of it, big smashes that made big volcanoes. It got its ass kicked. But it also looked like it tore up the other two. So it looked like whatever it was, because all 4 of these planets were in the inhabitable zone. So whatever caused number 5 to go. Number 4 to go. Sorry. Whatever caused number 5 to go wreaked havoc on 2, 3, and 4.
Well, so the story goes that Nibiru came into the solar system, and one of its moons collided with Tiamat, which is the 5th planet, the asteroid belt, and did some damage. And then on its way by, it also did the same thing to Mars and Earth. And then it came past again, and this time 2 of its moons The first moon that collided with Tiamat, which is the 5th planet, hit it again and destroyed it. The second moon broke off from Nibiru, collided near Mars, or got close to Mars, and sucked the atmosphere, and this is Velikovsky's theory, sucked the atmosphere and surface oceans off of Mars and dragged it behind it like a comet, and then bounced into Earth and became our moon, and the water that was trailing behind it, there's your biblical flood story, because it happened worldwide. But
yeah, but
I think if the moon hit the planet, anybody alive at that time would be dead.
Yeah, and there would be no water either, because it would all evaporate when the planet became molten. It's
well, no.
Besides that, the moon seemed to have happened.
Million years down the road.
The moon seemed to have happened much earlier. Not.
Well, the moon seems to have happened during the human times, because there are references and stories to the times before the moon, which is very strange.
I don't know when, because the convection currents and several other things on this planet are millions of years old, so it has to be here. There's a tidal record going back to the dinosaurs, so it had to be
somehow
here.
There's a verbal record,
Yeah, well, that's always been the problem with some of this stuff. The times don't always fit in right.
Yeah. Well, the powers that be on this planet, and I'll just say it may possibly be those reptilian guys. They don't want us to know all the information, so of course they're hiding it. That's why why was the Bible redacted and changed and edited so many times by different councils? Nicaea being the first. There's information in there they don't want us to have. That's what it has to be.
They needed it to fit their views and goals. That's why.
Well, and there's also, like I said, there's probably information in there they don't want us to have. Like they don't want us to know that Noah and his father and grandfather all came from outer space. That's what the story of Enoch tells us. That Methuselah and Enoch, those are Noah's father and grandfather. They all three came from outer space.
It's well, that's the thing, How you can't really deny they may have come from outer space. There's a lot of stuff that may have come from outer space. Problem is why it didn't work well for them either. Apparently,
yeah, they didn't. They're no longer here.
Well, as far as we know, they're not, but we don't really actually know. They could now, over the thousands of millions of years, became part of the society.
Again, they're and then the alien question again is they have tried to actively hide their presence from the global public. They don't want everybody to know what's going on.
Well, they don't want that to go on. It's you can't keep control without keeping your finger on the information.
Exactly the same reason why they installed the religious and government systems on this planet. Systems of control that they control from the sidelines, and it looks like we're, actively free and have our own, free will, if you will, but we're actually doing something for them. What it is, none of us know. We're doing something for these alien species, whatever it is. All three of them are doing it. All three of them haven't found whatever they're looking for, and whatever it is, it probably isn't for our benefit one way or the other.
I wouldn't worry about it. As long as
that's
they
only
think
my
we
only
don't
worry
taste,
about
it.
It's not for our benefit, whatever it is that they're doing. It's they don't want to disclose.
But but see, that might not be exactly true. It might be for both our benefits. Sometimes things they do might come out helping us. It's just their problem is if it hurts us, they don't really care. It's just you got in the way at the time. But they're not here to wipe us out or make us extinct. They're just here for
Did you freeze up? I think Joe froze up. Well, I guess we'll be seeing him. Yeah, so I don't know if he's right. I think it's just the doomsday in me, I guess. But it just that's how we hunt. You know, we go out, we set up a blind, and we try to mask our scent with, you know, whatever animal we're trying to hunt. We put their musk nearby us so they don't smell us. Same thing. The aliens are doing the same thing. They're hidden from sight. So there must be an ulterior motive. Oh
Wow.
God! Now we've got 3 of you.
Wow, we got 3 people going up.
Okay, one of you popped out.
That was really weird. Alien,
there we go. That's a little better.
That looks better. So what the hell were we talking about? We got
what we're talking about, the alien, what they're, you know, the genetic experiment, what they're doing. They haven't finished. They haven't found what they're looking for.
You know,
is it going to help us?
I don't know anymore if it's necessarily. I really think it's more that they're just here to make sure we don't get in trouble anymore, and just to see how we're progressing at the rate we're progressing.
Well, what kind of trouble had we gotten into? Are we the ones who destroyed the solar system? Did we make some kind of giant, big honking space gun for the war between heaven and earth, and then we shot that gun off and blew up 3 planets?
Look, you can't rule it out. See, that's always been the problem. Like, I remember when I very first year I was in ufology, when I actually been public, and I said, no one ever stops to think that we always talk about these aliens being from, you know, like Star Wars, from the other side of the galaxy or something like that. But I said, when you think you've had 4 planets inside the inhabitable zone, and there's definitely life on this one, and since Mars and Venus and the 5th planet was probably like this one, there was probably life in all of those as well. So then you have to stop and think about the Greys. The Greys would have been a perfect fit for Mars. Low light, low gravity. Their body's designed for that.
Little skinny, spindly thingies.
Yeah, they can reach up and pull themselves. I mean, it's almost like their body's designed for that. You think about the reptilians. They could have been here. They could have been from the 5th planet, because they're big, burly, you know, very powerful beings. And then you've got the strong gravity planet, which were probably from Mars. I mean, from Venus, because they always said these blonde, beautiful beings were from Venus. And these, when you look at them face on, they look like just, you know, really pretty humans. But when you look at them sideways, you're kind of like, oh my God, look a little funny.
Look at that skull.
You know, but other than that, and they're supposed to be a perception filter anyway when they're amongst us, that you can't tell. And it's not, you know, it's funny. It's not even so much about the head. They said they could cover the head with certain things. It was the fact that there's something about them that Hitler said they're just so ultra beautiful.
Yeah,
you can't take. Well,
Charles Hall said the same thing about them. Billy Meyer said the same thing about same race.
He's giving a lecture in New Mexico. I'd love to go see him.
Who is?
Charles Hall.
No shit.
Yeah, I thought he had retired permanently, but I seen it the other day. Awesome. Yeah, I'd like to go. I think it's going to be in Albuquerque in October, if I believe. Charles Hall is the one who talks about.
I thought he had passed away, though. Actually,
I didn't think he had passed away, but I had heard that he wasn't doing interviews or doing this anymore because he wasn't comfortable. I think he got. You know how it is when you get famous. Sometimes people want to attack you. And I told his wife, and I liked her. We were pretty good, decent. We talked pretty decently in there because she's very protective of him. I said, you got to be careful. I said, you're making claims that you're not going to be able to prove. I said, so you're going to have people that are going to, you know, tear him up and get mad at him and saying all kind of stuff. And you can't have easily hurt feelings if you're going to do this. Because sooner or later, someone's going to turn him up. Some guy called in on one of my shows because he had been on like 5 times. And the guy was being rude. I said, dude, and I just hollered back at Jeff. I said, just drop him. Charles was like, no, I can handle it. I said, no, there's no reason for you to handle it. I said, because you don't even know what he's asking. He's an idiot. I said, we don't allow idiots to ask questions. And I had him dropped. But just, you know, anyway, I'm gonna check into it because I'd like to go see him. It's not for me.
I'm trying to find it. I don't see it
Albuquerque. Oh man, maybe we could do a pay for view event. What is it? Oh yeah, pay for view on Roku. Wait, Albuquerque. Oh, I ain't got my phone with me. I was gonna see how far Albuquerque is. It's gonna be like a day because I was just in not the Alamo. Jesus, Joe. It's in it's outside of Wichita, Texas. It's not Albuquerque, but Amarillo. We were just in Amarillo.
Yellow City.
Amarillo's bigger than it looks, but it's I don't know.
Well, Amarillo is Spanish for yellow. So.
I have no idea what it is. I would be lying to you. All I know is I had to go there a few times. All I can tell you.
Amarillo, it's yellow.
No, right up the street there in Wichita, Texas. Actually, there's a couple places along Interstate 20 where they have the 96-inch ribeye.
96-ounce rib. Yeah,
sorry, 96-ounce ribeye.
Well, Houston has the
like
one
this,
72
people.
It's huge. Yeah, it's like a piece of meat, like this, that big, about an inch thick.
You know, if I would have found that like when I was in my 20s, I could have probably ate that. But no, as I got older, I didn't even want to try to. Probably
you have 60 minutes, and you don't have to finish everything on the plate, but you have to finish the 96 ounces of meat in that 60 minutes, and then they pay for your tables, all your tables meals. Otherwise, you're paying, I think it's $97 for it. It's expensive.
It's a big steak.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, y'all go try it out. I'm bragging.
I think we're gonna have to start in Houston, get the 72 ouncer first as like an appetizer, and then drive to Amarillo the next day and try the 96.
No, I like when it comes to ribeye, 2.5 inches is plenty big for me. I mean, I'll get a cowboy ribeye every once in a while, but well, cowboy ribeye is just a bone-in ribeye basically with the rib on it. That's all it is.
I found that the easiest piece to eat is, and even though they're usually fairly thick, is the filet mignon medallions. But if you have a good chef at the place where you go and you ask him to butterfly it, what that means is he'll take that hockey puck and he'll flip it, cut it so it's open like that, and cook it so you don't get like this super cold middle and a burnt outside. And then when they put it back together, it's all still one piece. It's just the way they cut it, it's not completely separated, but it gets it to the point where it's rare or medium rare, whatever your heating favorite is. That's the perfect way to cook them. And they're so any steak, if you can butterfly it like that, if you know what you're doing, every time it's like it melts in your mouth like butter. They're just that good if they're well cooked that way.
It's
we have digressed away.
Do you mean Grazy? No, Grazy like strawberry ice cream is what's his face said. Bob Lazar. Yes, poor Bob. He did that undercover thing because he didn't want anybody to know who he was. And I think George Knapp is the one who originally did the first one.
It was George Knapp, and he was recognized. His boss recognized him on the first night, and it was 1989. I saw the interview because he did it over. George Knapp did a week's worth of interviews with him over this time frame in 1989, and then the last Friday was you get to see the whole Monday through Thursday, and then the last segment all in one chop. And his boss saw that one and called him up that very evening and said, "What the hell are you doing, man?" You gave him the riot act. And then the very next week, he came out without the masking of his face because he was afraid that they were going to kill him.
Well, don't be telling government secrets unless you're a disinformation guy, and then tell them all you want. So for every one person who tells the truth, Jimmy, there's probably 50 that are telling lies.
Yes.
And the majority of people who say they work in the field are not in the field for the reason.
Philip Glass being one of them.
No, there's some good people in the field. I don't want to take away from, but there's a lot of either in it for the ego or in it for the money. Well,
or in it just simply to be contrary. There are people out there who like to be on the negative side of things, no matter what, even if they know the other side is correct.
Well, I can tell you I'm not in ufology for the ego, and I can tell you I'm not in for the money because I spent way more money than I've ever made.
Yeah, I've been doing this the same amount of years as Joe. I've made exactly dick.
Now radio? No, I do radio for my ego. I like doing radio and TV. Oh yeah, but that's not the same as ufology now. I like doing lectures, and I still do them, and I'm way more picky than I used to be, and these days you got to be careful anyway, because of political affiliations.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened to
the only thing that saves me is I'm a centrist, so I'm an equal opportunity hater, so people don't feel Democrats feel safe bringing me, and Republicans feel safe. Yes, because they figure, oh well, he's going to hate on us, but he's going to hate on them too, which is true. So, no, when it comes to ufology, I honestly try to stay away from politics, unless it's just like when we do the government things when we're having these hearings. Um,
The
hearings.
disclosure
Yes,
hearing.
yes. Disclosure hearings. Yes. So anyway, we have to talk about the government, but
You'd get a batch of sharks with freaking lasers faster than you would with
double
disclosure. Guarantee you.
It's okay. People, I'm not hating because we only got about 9 minutes. So I'm not hating. It's just the majority of witnesses I've heard have been lackluster. How's that?
Yeah, and if you don't believe us, go back. You can Google search it, Yahoo search it, whatever your favorite engine is. Look at some of there was this big hoo-dee-doo thing. I forget what they called it, but it was kind of like a UFO convention in the desert in Las Vegas in the 50s, 51, 2, 3, somewhere. And the interviewers are just asking some wacky, stupid questions, number one. Number two, the people they are interviewing are nuts. You can't curse on this show. I'm just going to say it again. The people that these legitimate reporters are interviewing at this Las Vegas UFO show, they are nuts. Absolutely. I mean, they say the stupid. This one guy's like, yeah, we're from the planet Vegas, not Las Vegas. It's spelled a different way, but it's a moon of Saturn. And I think if there was a moon of Saturn with life on it, we would have known that for already many years.
Now they might have a shield or something.
No, you have to watch. I'm sure you can find them. I think I have that documentary upstairs, and every once in a while I'll play it. And I just sit there and laugh. Those people are freaking nuts. They're wacko. Absolute wackos. The first batch of UFO people were absolutely nuts.
Well, the first batch of UFO people were a long, many moons ago. But
let's
you
just
should say the first batch of the modern era is what you should say. The modern era UFO people, idiots. People, they've been talking about UFOs since man's been on the planet.
Yeah.
So in Europe, in a cave, it's 55,000 years ago.
Caves.
You switch. Well, first, let me do this correctly. Let's jump back to America real fast. About 7,000 years ago, some tribe somewhere put a thing inside of near Pueblo. They painted the inside of the cave. So inside the cave, they got all kind of scenes, and then they got these hunters with spears following buffalo. And so they're showing them tracking them along like they were having a hard time catching up or something. And then all of a sudden you see what appears to be 3 white discs with these looks like rays coming down, and then it shows the natives or whoever they were killing the buffalo. Well, in a much earlier version of this in Europe, in a cave, dates back 55,000 years. Same thing happened. The only difference was it was deer and not buffalo, and there was more of them.
It's actually an extinct type of deer, but that's the Le Chaux Caves in France. It shows an extinct. I think
aliens people.
I don't think it might be the Urdu or something. It might start with a K, but it's an extinct type of antelope.
The aliens, guys, aliens.
Yeah. Well, then you got the Wangina in Australia.
There's just, and then shh, Heidi, be quiet. Shh.
Yeah, she was.
Has anybody seen Heidi? I haven't seen.
You didn't
Heidi.
get to see Mr. Boris. Boris is out.
Actually, Janine, I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow night, but Amelia's supposed to be back. Yes.
Boris, he's tired.
Yes, she's supposed to be back. Don't you know? No, we were discussing dresses. Yes, don't. You can ask me about all that stuff on Saturday. Ask me. It's not even really good for Friday. Ask me on Saturday. I just grew up. Just ask me on Saturday. How's that? If you remember, ask me on Saturday. Ask me about that on Saturday. That's food topic. That's for Saturday. Sometimes on Friday. You mean, we're going to do something for Charlie Kirk? On what show? What are you talking about? we've talked about him a good bit even before this happened. Oh, you mean the Candace Owens thing? You know what? That's for Friday night. You can ask that on Friday night. Yeah, see, Heidi knows food porn segment, but you can ask that on Friday night. I like Candace. I don't necessarily always agree with her, but I know I always agree with Troy. I was actually hoping, and I had been pushing some friends to see if I could get a debate with this guy. Well, I was hoping he'd come to a college near me where I could just go see him. And I would have loved to debate him. I have nothing against him. And a lot of his policies I agreed with. Not everything, mind you, but a lot. I would have had a ball. Look, I would debate anybody. Anywhere, anyhow. I got a
No, we
good
would have had a good time with Trump on this show. Yeah, absolutely.
It's I think him and I would have had a good debate. Yes. Or if he came in with the host, with the group. Who? What are you talking about? Who? Oh, you're talking about Sean. Yeah, no.
I agree with Heidi. We need to get a video like we can throw up that says, food porn segment, like one of those quick promo things we do. We need to get something going like that.
So a friend of mine, Jackie, the other day writes me, you should cut those clips out and save them and do a recipe show. I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, y'all talk about food a lot. And you talk about some of your recipes. I said, I ain't giving that shit away. You got to pay for that. What are you talking about? That's going on pay-per-view,
recipes.
Pretty soon there's going to be a paid-for food segment on this network.
Yes. I have a couple of recipes I wouldn't mind giving out if we want to
do a show we're going to make Jay do it naked then.
But I also, the only reason why I'm giving those 5 recipes out is because I want to write a book around those 5 recipes and make my own cookbook.
So we're going to have a new cooking show called The Blind Naked People. Ooh. Blind naked man. So Jay's going to be naked. I'm going to be blind. So I don't have to see him naked. I'm aware of the thing. And
I don't know if that's going to work out so well. So,
well, I can still talk about the recipes as long as I'm not looking at them. I can still describe them. I'll let you guys ask him Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, Friday should be a pretty good show. Lots happened this week.
There's a lot to talk about, and Uncle Trump is over in Europe right now playing "I Am the King." Yes. I could see him doing a pose. Yes,
he's hanging out with kings, but he's not
the king. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase it. I am the emperor of the world. Yes, the emperor of the world.
The orange emperor.
I am the emperor of the world. Yes, I am.
Hey, is there anything in Armageddon about an orange-faced emperor? I doubt it.
The what? Jay, you smoking that shit?
Is there any reference in the books of Revelation of a orange-faced emperor coming in to take over the earth?
Because they tried to say he was the Antichrist, but he's not the Antichrist.
They tried to say he was Hitler too.
Yes, Hitler was probably. Oh, so people, you have to remember on Friday to ask me about the new research done in Mr. Obama's birth certificate. You're going to love this.
Oh.
You're going to love this. Well, I hadn't even thought about this. I didn't think about it when it was going on, actually. It was kind of a non-starter for me. I said, well, he's going to win. What? Shh, but I voted for Obama the first time. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't, people. Shh, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody. I did not the second time, though. Okay. Yes. No, I did not.
Yeah, he learned his lesson the first time.
Yes. I voted for Hillary Clinton. No, I did not vote for Hillary Clinton.
No, none of us did. That would be bad.
I was even scared to go to a poll because Hillary might put a hit out on your ass. Matter of fact, we were on a show one night doing a live news show, and it said, I am Hillary. You vote for him, you die. I was like, oh, okay, Miss Hillary, no problem. Mm-hmm. No, it was a sound effect somebody did. No, I'm serious. They had one of the guests had a sound effect they did. That's what it was.
It had to have been Michael.
No, this was before Michael. But,
okay.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't before Michael. Maybe it was. Who knows? Well, you never know. We do a lot of shows with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And Michael did have some sound effects. So,
well, I'm fixing to talk to Michelle about some panels, but we need to get a couple more guys because the guys are outnumbered on the station right now. So, yes, no, we outnumbered, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got some Canadian women. They're dangerous.
They're taking over the network.
No, we got to go though. Cause, Michelle should be coming live.
Yeah, because if we don't, she will take over the network. Yeah.
So I truly hope everyone enjoyed the show tonight. Any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, please write to Michelle DeRoche. She loves it when you write to her. She says she feels lonely if you don't write to her. So write to her. Just say, hey, Michelle, we love you. You're doing a great job. But anyway, on that note, I want to thank you for tuning in to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. You have Jay and myself here tonight, and we will see you on Friday and Saturday. And and whoever asked, no, I don't think so. But we'll talk about that on Friday too. How's that? Good night, everybody. And go check out Michelle. Dun, 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 dun.